Well, hello, and aloha, y'all. This is Miss Chantel Boucher here with Believers in Business Social. And I have one of our past sponsors of this last event, Mr. Ryan Sterling, with us. Boo, 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 boo. I'm doing that so he stays awake because, we're exhausted. People
Right.
don't understand how intense it is, man. But how are you doing, Ryan?
I'm doing good.
No,
Tired. Networking gets tiring for sure.
right? It's exhausting.
Whenever it's good, it gets tiring.
Yeah, you have that the come down off of the high, and then you're like, whoa, man. Well, Ryan, introduce yourself to the people. Tell them a little bit about what you do and the services that you offer. Por favor.
So, so my name is Ryan Scott. I'm based in DFW. I mainly concentrate on health insurance for entrepreneurs and small business owners. What we really try and do is find something that works for you and not against you. So, like a nationwide plan, tax exempt plan. There's just a lot of options a lot of people don't know about, even if it's just a solo employee, self-employed individual at 1099, you still have a lot of options. But that's what we concentrate on here at Sterling Health, and
That's
it's
great.
awesome.
I
Yeah,
like it. I like it. Now, I have to say, Ryan has to be probably one of our number one fan of the events
yep.
that we do. I'd have to say he's such a huge advocate for us, and we appreciate you so much, Ryan. You have no idea. He saw the vision we were trying to do. He's like, I get it. I understand. This is so cool. So tell me about that. Tell me how'd you feel the events went? You've got to grace both of our events that we've had so far, and just side note, as a reminder, no event in May because in observance of Memorial Day, we will not be doing one because that does end up on the last Monday. And the thing is, if we do it any sooner, then we lose a whole another week of marketing the event. And if we do it too late, it's closer to anyway. So June 24th is the next one in Allen, side note. But anyway, proceed.
Where is it in Allen?
We don't know yet. We're gonna announce the
Ah,
location in
okay,
a couple weeks,
okay,
but it will be in
okay.
Allen.
Sweet. I'm excited.
Yeah.
So the first event was actually what got my attention. It was very well organized. Whenever I showed up, I was handed a pamphlet and I was told that I have to turn that in at the end of the night in order to enter the drawing raffle that they were having.
Mhm.
The drawing and raffle had a bunch of really crazy, valuable items.
Yeah.
Um, and it seems that a lot of the sponsors are just very giving. And that's kind of the path that I wanted to set forth kind of um, in the second at the second event whenever I was the sponsor.
Hmm.
And but yeah, no, at the first event I was just super impressed. That's why I came up to you. That's why
Yeah.
I said something like, "Hey, how long have you been doing this?" Or
Yeah.
because I expected like maybe
Hmm.
10, 20 years or something like that, but obviously it's just that was the first event.
Yes.
And what made it really special, especially for sponsors or just people who are introverted.
Hmm.
I'm a natural introvert, so it definitely helps. Obviously, it's kind of hard for me to always keep eye contact, so it's
Yeah.
just being an introvert. So, um, but the process that you created for all the sponsors get stickers. They
Hmm.
have a sheet of stickers that are stars, and each sponsor will put a sticker on your pamphlet next to their name.
Hmm.
And at the end of the night, you have to have all the sponsors filled up, and then you turn in the pamphlet. That's how you get entered in the raffle. So essentially, the entire time you're walking around trying to figure out who's who does what, who's connected to who. It's just a lot of fun. And you really meet so many different backgrounds. There's so many different partnerships, and there's just a lot of people who are trying to grow, do different things
Hmm.
besides just, networking, handshaking, but they're trying to develop their business to take it to that next level. And
Hmm.
that was exciting for me to see.
Hmm.
So I was like, yeah, sponsorship, second event, no brainer.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm so glad you did. And I just love to see everybody just so excited when they get there. And like you said, and to your point of the whole introvert side of things, I am not that. However, most business owners shockingly are introverts. Most of them. They have a problem speaking in front of groups of people. They have a hard time kind of approaching people sometimes. But once you get them going, it's very easy. That's how they're successful with their businesses, when it's that one-on-one kind of thing. And so I totally get what you're saying with that too as well. And it was actually one of the reasons why I did that, is I was like, man, I need to help some of my peeps, man, because since I was a little girl, I just talked to all the strangers all the time, and I still do. But that's not, again, not most people. And so I'm glad that you saw the value in that too. And from both sides, right? Because people are thinking, whoa, the sponsors are getting all the attention, but you
No.
guessed at the first one. So
Yeah.
like it gives you a lot of still so much opportunity, and it shows you and identifies the people that are serious about their business actually for you.
Yep.
Because, being a sponsor, they put money into being there at the event, and it shows like, hey, these people are serious about their business, and they kind of self-identify themselves in that way too. And the sponsors could be great leads for people because it shows that they're serious about their business. So,
Right.
and then also too, just to touch on the digital space of things, a lot of the things that people aren't aware of is that when you are a sponsor of our events, it's not just there at the event. There's a whole pre thing that happens and then a post thing that happens with that. So do you want to mention a couple of those things, Ryan?
So there's a lot of social media that goes on, especially in today's world. It's definitely needed, and Chantel really takes advantage of that. And I knew it was going to happen, but I didn't know it was going to happen as much. So I was pretty impressed there again. Um,
Yeah.
so it wasn't like an everyday thing, but leading up to the event, it was almost an everyday thing because you have to make people aware of the event, the growth that's happening, because people just they see it once and it just goes in one ear and out the other, or in
Mm-hmm.
in one eye and out the other, just
Yeah.
however you want to say it. But
Both.
um, yeah, people just kind of ignore it sometimes, but whenever they see it finally starting to get traction, then they jump on board. Well, the thing is, don't you want to get in whenever it's like groundbreaking?
Yeah.
It's going to be different. It's going to make a difference.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. And the thing is, our events have been selling out. And
mhm,
I warn people about them. Like even friends of mine, I'll send them a personal text message and be like, hey, I'm letting you know because it's my event. So I'm telling you, I'm about to post this, but it's gonna be sold out soon. And
yep,
so like it's almost like they think I'm doing it as a marketing tactic. And it just so happens that it is a marketing tactic, but it's also the truth at the same time. It did sell
yep,
out, which we're
yeah.
so about.
I remember both the first event selling out also.
Yes.
I didn't, so I was a guest at the first one, but I wasn't on the original invite. I was brought by someone and still
Uh-huh.
had to get the okay
Yes.
to to come through because it's not a super exclusive event,
Hmm.
but it is an organized event.
Yes.
And that's what really makes the difference in a lot of events, especially networking events that I've been to. It's not just a normal event. It's definitely a networking event. You're going to be working, you're going to be making contacts, you're going to be shaking hands. That's
Yes.
just that's what it
Absolutely.
is. That's the end result. You have to make partnerships.
Mhm.
And it's been very easy to make partnerships in the group that you've created and in the events that you've created.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much. And I'm always continuously trying to think of additional ways to create value for people, even if the event is done and over with. And that's why I do the post interviews now of with the sponsors, getting to talk about the event, and that way you guys can use it for your social media. It
Mm.
also educates people a bit more because there's not really something to compare it to. Um and
There's
then
not.
yeah, there really isn't. And then also too, for you guys to know, the information of the sponsors, you're there for 1 year on our website from the time. Because as sometimes you meet people and they're trying to remember who you were, and they have a point of reference. They can go back and be able to find you, and you stay kind of listed on there. So
Right.
but thanks again so much, Ryan. How can people find you? Also, oh, side note, can you just talk about your group real quick and then also your podcast that you have going on and how
Oh,
people
yeah,
can find that? Because I want them
for
to be
sure.
able to find you on it.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm mainly on Facebook. That's where I kind of drive all my traffic to. I just think it's a lot more personable than LinkedIn and Nextdoor and all the other Instagram and all those others. But Facebook is definitely the one. And that's where about a year and a half ago, I created a group. They're mostly business owners and entrepreneurs, um, mainly around the United States, mainly in DFW, Texas, well, all around Texas, DFW, Austin, Houston, kind of in that order. But yeah, it's a group of about 10,000 people, almost 10,000 in about a year and a half, which is pretty crazy. It's
Awesome.
been pretty successful and a lot of people have grown from it. We mainly concentrate on finance. But we talk about anything and everything business. No business is off the table.
Yeah.
There's a lot of us that like talking about strategies and different ideas in there. But outside of the group, I also try to bring more value to my community, that group, and also just people who follow me on Facebook. I'm not like a huge influencer or anything like that, but I know that there's valuable information, and I have a
I
pretty
would
good
say you're
ear.
an educator, more of an
Yeah,
educator and facilitator, like definitely. Hmm.
yeah, I'll agree to that. But it's very easy for me to see and hear valuable information and what would be useful to people in various situations. So it's always good to connect with people. So the podcast is mainly about bringing a business owner or someone who's been successful in some aspect and they just share their knowledge. And we really dive deep and kind of get into the crevices of how it was developed, what they did, how they did it, when they did it, because what might work then might not work now. So the
Sure.
landscape changes. It's just there's a lot of stuff that we've gone over. But we've had everyone from beauty professionals to finance professionals to marketing professionals to
Yeah.
events promotions, business consultants, just a bunch of really valuable information. I don't like talking surface level at all. I hate it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, you know that. You're the same way.
I
So
am. Jim
that's,
and I we could sit down and like talk to each other for about 12 years. Like, wait, what time is it? We gotta
yeah,
hop off now. Yeah, I know.
right.
I love that.
But yeah, we just really try and bring a lot of value to people from the podcast. And right now it's long form. Eventually we'll be splitting it up into reels and short form and kind of drive people back to the full episode. But that's where we're at now,
And then where can people find that group? What is the name of the group? Can you share that with everybody? And where
for
can
sure.
you find your content?
So the group URL is facebook.com/groups/finance for individuals and businesses. The actual name of the group is Financial Tips, Tricks, Questions for Individuals and Businesses.
Okay.
But feel free to add me on Facebook, Ryan Sterling Scott, Ryane as in echo. It's pronounced Ryan. The E is silent.
I know.
It's not Rain, Ryan, Ryan. I've gotten everything.
Renee.
Yeah, yeah.
Enjoy.
I'll still get on calls with people and they're like, yeah, I didn't know how to pronounce your name. I'm glad you introduced yourself. I'm like, that's exactly why I do it.
I love that. Again, thank you so much, Ryan. His website information and stuff will be below there too, as well, for you guys to be able to go and find him. And heck, I'll even put the Facebook link to your page as well too. Um,
Awesome.
and
Appreciate it.
thank you to all y'all guys for listening to us and hearing more about Ryan and the wonderful services that he offers and a little bit about himself and about our events. If you'd like to purchase a ticket to our next event, you can. It will be June 24th in Allen, location to be announced. And if you have an interest in becoming a sponsor, you can also reach out to us at believersinbusinesssocial.com. Thanks again. Aloha.